Evening gang, how's everybody doing? Wednesday night we are back with a new episode of No Ordinary Family, guest starring Xena Warrior Princess herself, Lucy Lawless. She's only in the episode for like a good, total of about 2-3 minutes, but what an impact she has. There's a new woman who was in town as well. And watching this episode, it reminded me of Smallville season 3, I think it was, or 2, where Clark gets his heat vision from the very sexy sex educational teacher. Yeah, what a scene that was. Yeah, what an episode. Basically, she has the ability to control men's, pheromones. She uses the pheromones and toxins to men do her bidding, basically. And this episode was pretty much like that, if not just a little bit better. She was the woman Sophie in this episode was very subtle in the way that she gave off her pheromones, as it were. The way that the episode plays out, we see what looks like, a dude running out of a pharmacy, the basket case full of cough medicine. George and Jim are thinking, why would he? Then said woman meets George. Yeah, she clocks George. George falls in love. Oh my god. I know it was funny. But then later on, when George wants Jim and Stephanie to meet Sophie, it started to take a turn for the worst, because then Jim got interested in Sophie. Yeah, and we found out what Sophie's real plan was, and also what part Lucy Lawless's evil character has to play in it as well. I'm intrigued to see where they go with her character, because oh my god, it sounds like it's going to shape up to quite a good finale by the sounds of things. The only sad thing is that unfortunately the show has been cut down to 20 episodes in the first season, as opposed to being run for 22. I really hope that doesn't impact on the decision to keep it for a second season, because my guess is, I hope that they do keep it on for a second season, because if wherever they're going to head towards with Lucy Lawless's character, if they can bring her back for the second season, I think it would be brilliant. I think bring in a bit more creativity. I mean, they've got the creativeness, they've got it down. There's nothing wrong with how the show is done. The show is made perfectly. It's got all the hallmarkings and elements of a family superhero comic book style TV show. It's got drama, it's got tension, it's got action, it's got comedy, it's got everything thrown in and a bit more. So I would like to see it come back for a second season. Hopefully, Lucy Lawless will become a major factor, maybe even a series regular. There's an option, there's an idea. Anyway, moving on with the episode again. Eventually George comes to, cannot remember the last couple of days of what happened. And there's Jim. Basically, first of all, Jim leaves his wife and his kids. Bad. It was bad. It was heart-wrenching. Very heart-wrenching for Steph. I really felt for Steph. I thought, poor girl. 18 years and she just doesn't deserve it whatsoever. Doesn't deserve it. But then Jim goes crashing at George's, and George is like, dude, are you alright? Kind of thing. So George cannot remember the last couple of days. He has no idea what's going on. He thinks Jim has definitely lost his rag. He goes to see JJ. JJ pretty much sort of like, yeah, Dad's lost the plot. But then they suddenly, between them, go to figure out what exactly is going on. They find out a bit more about this Sophie character, what she's really about, what she was capable of doing, to not just to George but also to Jim, and then realising what she was actually up to. So they found out what she was up to. But the episode, it got more and more interesting, got more and more intriguing, because on the other side, a new patient was brought into Global Tech. Some of you might remember the actor. He was in the movie Skyline, which pretty much bombed last year. It was like a rip-off of Independence Day. It was so unfair, it wasn't even funny. But yeah, it's the guy who was in Skyline, and he apparently he had an altercation of some sort in prison, and was going to be given the serum. Stephanie was put in charge of this by Dr. King. She was really nervous about it because she knows of the side effects and stuff like that and what it can do to people. So she felt pretty bad about it. But it turns out that this patient, well, there's a lot more to him than we thought. So again, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. And his newfound ability, oh my god, it is scary. So yeah, it's interesting to see where he's going to go. And as I say, also where Lucy Lawless's character is going to go. Because, oh, I can see some serious rivalry going on here. There's definitely going to be some serious rivalry. I tell you what, I do watch this show and I think, if Heroes was like this, especially from the second season onwards, oh my god, I think Heroes would probably still be going on right now. Could have been a couple of more seasons off the back of season 4, I think. But yeah, No Ordinary Family really is awesome, and you know, I really hope the ratings did improve last night. I mean, I follow the cast members on Twitter, and just seeing them interact with each other, even on Twitter as well, was just amazing. And you know, Michael Chiklis' song "Till I Come Home," I was told was actually featured in this episode. I unfortunately didn't listen out for it, so Michael, I do apologise. His song is actually doing quite well. It's released on iTunes pretty much all around the world, so if you want it, get yourself a copy. But yeah, no, as I say, the show is fantastic. It really is. I'm just amazed. I mean, last night's episode was all about love, trust, the relationship side of things. This is what I love about the show. It always looks at different aspects of life. It wasn't just about the whole love and trust thing, but you've got also Daphne controlling Chris's mind to make him not remember or ask questions about her family. But then in the end, no matter how many times, as JJ said, you know, at the end of the day, how many times can you convince him not to keep asking the question? Because the question's still going to be in his mind. Then eventually something's going to trigger the question to be asked again. She must have done it about 4 times in the episode, and he still carried on asking. And then in the end, bless her cotton, she opened up to him and revealed the truth, you know, and she feels that she can trust Chris. I really hope that Chris doesn't mess this one up really badly. Pretty much the question came about because his dad, who's now in prison, kind of sort of let on that Jim and Stephanie were not quite who they seem, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what prompted Chris to ask the question to Daphne. But overall, fairly enjoyable. As I say, very intrigued to see what Lucy Lawless's character is going to do. Very intrigued. Yeah, some strange rivalries definitely going to go on, that's for sure. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all again for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you again next week for more No Ordinary Family. Good night.